Welcome to the League Doomhammer Insider Show. I am joined this week by Lane Stanberry, myself, Taylor Eldridge. We got Kevin Bishop, we got Jacob Pfeiffer, Brad Piper, and Kevin Stanberry. So let's get right to it. Last week we had a miracle victory by none other than this guy over here, straight out of therapy. You really have me to thank. Tell us how much did Hugo help you last week?
I do have you to thank, Taylor. Thank you. I did not see the value in it at first, and then once I was mandated to go there, it actually was. I became at peace with myself, and Dr. Hugo really helped me. And I would encourage others to go visit Dr. Hugo as well.
He was all booked up this week, or else we'd definitely be sending some people, maybe myself, to therapy. But Gary Barnage,
yeah.
I mean Theo Riddick,
yeah,
Jamison Crowder. Are you serious?
Yeah, I know. I just received a vision on my way to Nebraska for this wedding I went to, and I just saw all these barns everywhere. And I looked at the waiver wire, and it was just a sign from God. Barnage, this week, start him. And so I got him, and I started him.
Yeah.
Crowder, favorite show is Justified, and one of the main characters' last name is Crowder. So there you go, there's that one. And then Theo Riddick, I don't really like Chronicles of Riddick, but I picked him up anyway. So, but they were all solid ads, so... It also helps that I like to look at how many targets each person gets. And in the past couple of weeks, all those players have got a lot of targets. Jordan Reed was out. Deshaun Jackson was out. Who's catching the ball? Probably Crowder. Barnage, for the last 2 weeks, whenever McCown is playing, he seems to get the ball. And then also...
I think you're boring everybody.
Okay.
Pfeiffer, do you beat his team if he's fully healthy?
Yeah, I think that's the real kicker here. If his team, without these waiver wire pickups, these garbage waiver wire trash freaks, I call them freaks. That's what they are.
Trash freaks.
Trash freaks.
Yes.
I think I easily beat Kevin, and it's really frustrating that if he was just healthy, if it would have been a normal week, I would have been fine.
Bad beats.
Part of it's the power of the guarantee, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That was your first guarantee where you actually followed through. That's impressive.
See, the true, the most precious part of a guarantee is that really the only thing it costs you is your own dignity and self-respect. So,
not much to give.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So you look at the season, you have 3 of the top 4 point scorers and below 500 right now. You have Tim Stanberry, me, Kevin Stanberry, all at 2 and 3. Number 1, number 2, and number 4 top scoring teams in the league. Lane, I'm going to start it with you. Should any of these teams be concerned about missing the playoffs?
I don't think so. I think all these teams definitely have a legitimate shot to get to the playoffs. I think they all have good rosters. So,
Kevin.
Yeah, I think they're all getting to the playoffs just because there's a cluster bunch. That's what I like to call it in the middle there, where there's just a bunch of middling teams.
Sounds like a delicious pie or of some sort.
Cluster bunches of oats.
Jacob, should any of these teams be concerned about missing?
All of them should. There's, like Kevin said, there's a cluster bunches of oats in the middle, and someone's going to wake up without breakfast.
That's true. Brad?
I don't think anybody has to be worried. I think we've got a couple posers sitting in 2 of those spots that shouldn't be there. I won't say any names.
Would you like to identify them?
Yeah,
please identify them.
Okay, you convinced me. First of all, my boy Jake is going to miss the playoffs. We'll call that right now. And I still don't think I believe in Will yet. He's still got to convince me. And Stanberry is outscoring the second best team by 40 points so far. So,
It's amazing what people will say when they're not on the show. Last week, everybody was saying nice things to Will. Now Will's not on the show, and we're just burying him under the bus.
What do you mean by everyone?
Everyone picked Will. Who was the only one to pick Tim last week?
I picked Tim.
Tim. You picked Will, and now you're saying he's not legit. Kevin, are you worried? You're a little worried. You're a little worried.
I'm not worried because after I spoke to Dr. Hugo, I learned that worry is something that is not productive. It's something that you should not do. So yeah, I feel like I'm the 2 and 3 team of destiny.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. My team is pretty banged up this year, so it's a struggle out there. So now we're gonna play a fun little game that Brad's been playing with the whole league this entire season. Title of it's gonna be called Kindle in a Second, and Brad has been shopping Kindle Wright and Travis Bond's second round pick next year, trying to get anything in this league, and he has yet to even get a sniff. So I thought it'd be fun to go around the table and come up with what you would give Brad for Kindle in a Second. Kevin Stanbury, what would you give him?
For Kindle in a Second, I am prepared today to give up Marquise Lee, the 2025 second round pick, and the 2026 second round pick.
Okay.
I'm willing to give that up right
It's
now.
very legit.
Wow.
Can I hear all the offers
You
before I
can,
make
you
a
can. We're
Okay,
gonna go
great,
around.
great.
But the kicker is you have to accept one of these.
That's the part of the game.
Let's
If
just
you-
hear the offers first.
Jacob.
I will offer you
Breaking news here from the Doomhammer Insider Studios. We have a trade that just went down. There it is. We got Jamal Charles being given and Frank Gore being taken.
Why can I be giving Frank Gore?
It's all
Why
in the
not?
moment. It's all in the moment.
It's a matter of
You're the-
perspective. From my perspective, I am giving and taking.
Me,
Are you taking?
I'm better than that too. I'm giving and taking.
Interesting.
Well,
Kevin, can you?
relationships and trades are give and take.
Yeah,
So
a lot of give and take.
It's a
Kevin,
two-way street.
can you tell us why you made this trade?
Well, I think
Are you desperate?
I think perspective. I mean, I would explain it like it's just a matter of like from whose eyes you're looking through. Because we as humans are really we have the ability to empathize, and I can see from your perspective it is giving and taking, but I can also see that from my perspective. What do you think?
Yeah, it's really about.
It's taking a weird turn.
that's really
It's really about beauty in the eye of the
Existential.
beholder type of thing. Where I see beauty in Jamal Charles, so I feel like I'm receiving him.
Yeah.
Like he's the body of Christ. Like I receive him.
Wow, this has turned very existential.
And like the other cool thing about perspective is that like from my perspective I feel like I'm winning, but I could also see from your perspective that you feel like
Yeah, sure. I feel the same way. It's a really crazy thing how you see something through someone else's eyes.
Perspectives are so cool. Let's get Kevin's. What do you think? Who won that trade?
I think it's actually a pretty good trade for both teams. I think Jacob has realizes he's not a contender this year, so he's going to give away an asset that's not really going to help him in the future for something that could be a huge player to build on. So he'll have Tannehill, Jordy Nelson, and Jamal Charles, and then Jarvis Landry is his next tier below that to build a team from, and that is pretty exciting.
You sound excited, Brad.
From my perspective, I'm going to say Kevin, just because I think he keeps him in that contending mode. I don't know what Jamal's going to be after this. He's had 2 ACL tears. If he comes back, we can revisit that. But right now, I'm going to go with Kevin.
What happened last time he tore his ACL? What did he do the year after?
That's a good point. He was
Better.
He was also younger.
It is a fact. Is this not correct? It is a fact.
When Jamal Charles tears his ACL, he comes back and has a career year.
How many?
It's happened once before. It can happen twice again.
What's the sample size on that?
1 for 1.
Okay,
It's 100%. It's
When
100%.
you strike him down, he comes back more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
prior he only had one strength in knee though. Like imagine the upside of having
Two knees.
2 bionic
Reconstructed.
reconstructed. Yeah.
You saw what it did with Gronk's arm.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have a Gronk leg now.
robotic
Gronk
leg.
legs.
That'd be a first in the NFL. And
I mean, Eifert has a robotic arm now too.
Look what it's doing for him. Lane,
Yeah.
do you agree with, is it a win-win for both, or you see one side?
I think it's a win-win for both. From the perspective of the only undefeated team in the league right now, looking ahead at the matchup, I believe it definitely helps Kevin.
Nobody likes that.
Nobody likes it, but I like it.
From your perspective, you like it.
From your that's my perspective, sure. But it definitely helps Kevin. Wouldn't have to start one of his running backs off the bench this week. He has a tough matchup. I believe it'll be a tight game. And for Pfeiffer, like Kevin said, it gives him something to build on next year. He'll have Jordy Nelson and Jamal Charles to build off of, and he'll have a higher pick. So
This is a holding year for me. So if I can get rid of some of the players that aren't going to contribute next year for someone who can, I think it's a good place for me to be.
and we saw those holding years from Piper as well. So
Holding.
Yeah,
let's try
I don't know what that means.
Let's nail down that definition. Is that tanking? Is holding tanking?
Well, from Jacob's perspective, it's holding.
It's holding. What about from our perspective?
It might be.
It's folding.
Folding. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting.
Can I add 2 more hot takes on this?
One.
All right, I'm gonna
Choose
combine
wisely.
it. Well, I mean, as Jamal owner, you kind of hope for the ACL tear because his trade stock skyrockets. Another thing is, I'm bringing in Hyde's mentor to mentor him throughout the rest of the year here. So I think both my guys are just gonna fill each other up.
Wow.
Great combination of those hot takes.
A lot of hot takes there.
It's one hot take.
One hot
If
take.
they're stuck together, it's one hot take.
We also had another $50 running back on the move last weekend. Marshawn Lynch on the move to Travis Bond, courtesy of Brad Piper over here, who addressed his need at his 6th receiver position and got Demarius Thomas. I think it was a little bit more than that.
The bigger thing of this trade is not just looking at who won between those players. It was a win regardless, considering I was able to hand Jake another loss. I'm not sure who he plays this week, but come talk to me. Let's get this train going.
Brown and Kevin, pretty interesting trade. I mean, that's a lot to give up for Demarius.
It is a lot
for a 6th receiver.
Yeah, you wonder exactly who's getting the start each week on Brad's team. But I think it's interesting. After just a week or two ago, we were talking about working on having stable running backs to improve the floor of your team. But it looks like Brad has decided to double down on his strategy here on wide receivers. But just like the KFC double down, enjoyable at first, but you could end up on the crapper. So I don't know. Dangerous game, I think Brad's playing right now. So.
What about you, Jacob? What do you think?
I honestly didn't look at the trade that closely.
Here it is, breaking news. He gave up Marshawn, Brandon Cooks, and Tyler Eifert, 3 starters probably for Bond's team, for Demarius, and then Blunt and White to handcuff Dion Lewis, and then also a 2nd rounder.
I think you hit the nail on the head there with the handcuff for Dion Lewis. I think Brad made an effort to show Dion he has his back. Unless he gets hurt, then he wants to have Blunt and White.
Then he's out.
Yeah.
But he does have faith in him to lead his team through the playoffs.
Yeah. And Kevin, you made an interesting point about the 2 big names in that trade. You feel like Demarius is a better keeper option.
Yeah, I have a tough time.
There's his name right there.
That's Demarius. I'd have a tough time keeping Marshawn because he's $57 and he's got Tommy Rawls breathing down his neck. This guy, he's got a better talent sitting behind him, so I don't think that is there with Demarius, and I think he's worth it.
Yeah. Lane, who gets the better end of that? Is it another win-win? Or
on paper, I think Jake gets the better end of it, but just from the additions that
That's
Piper,
a hot take.
From the additions that Piper made this offseason, I trust his judgment and that he made the right call. He's gone from literally worst to 3rd. So I trust his judgment here.
Yeah, interject.
Jake, the dark horse winner of this trade.
I believe he has won this trade. I believe he's gotten 3 solid players that he could start any week. So
Good job, Jake.
Brad, what do you think?
I mean, Cooks and Eifert, it was a debate on who was even going to start on my team. So trading for Demarius just makes my receiving core that much more intimidating.
And I ate my first one. Tasted like it came from the Left Factory. Ate my second one. It also tasted like it came from the Left Factory.
Two less.
I'm really upset about this. I think I need to write a letter. I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe there was a hostile takeover.
Probably.
Oh no.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Didn't see you
Hi.
there.
I'm Tim Cheaterberry.
And I am Kevin Cheaterberry.
Welcome back to the Cheaterberry Corner, where we're going to announce the Cheater of the Week. And the Cheater of the Week this week is...
Will Eisenhower.
That wasn't the Cheater of the Week.
Yeah, he definitely is the cheater of the week. I mean, if you saw what he did to your team, he obviously sold his soul to Satan or something like that to get those last second
We
shots. I
already
don't know.
talked about this.
Are we starting yet?
Not yet, actually.
We'll let you know, though.
We're gonna be soon.
All right.
Yeah.
So
So keep the blazer on.
Gotcha.
okay, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
A little further. What are we going to do about that?
Someone needs to stop him.
It's going to get really awkward.
Anyway, so
Okay,
as we were
anyway.
saying, I was looking at the stats here, and I don't know, you must have probably gone insane during the course of this game because it looks like Foster had 7.5 points in the last 2 minutes of the game.
The last 2 minutes of the game, yeah, the entire time I was like, Foster, no, I'm sorry, Foster. It was awful. It was really painful, and I thought we weren't going to talk about this game.
Yeah, well, it's good TV, so, I mean, we had to bring it up. So, next one, Benjamin getting 5.5 points also in the final 2 minutes of his game.
Yeah, that was brutal. I started tearing up a couple times during that, seeing him catch those 2 passes for 25 yards, and then the game ended anyway, and it didn't really matter. I started tearing up, but I had to look at myself in the mirror. I said, "Are you crying? You crying? There's no crying in baseball." So then I had to...
Getting an odd Tom Hanks theme here.
Am I going to get to tell that joke about Will not saying his lineup?
Yeah, that was a good joke. We'll let you tell that joke.
Okay, cool.
But it's going to be in like a couple minutes.
But yeah, it's going to be soon.
minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
couple
one.
minutes.
it's going to kill. It's going to be awesome.
All right, sweet.
Okay. Anyway, I've got this good joke about Will here. He must not have set his lineup. He must have just totally forgotten to set his lineup because he started Percy Harvin this week. Who
Percy
didn't even
Harvin.
score any
Who
points. He got
starts
negative
Percy
points.
Harvin?
Who does that? A great joke I came up with.
You think
Anyway,
Percy's real name is Percival?
maybe. I don't know.
I kind of want it to be.
Let's see here. Then it looks like in your game, Eli Manning had 7.5 points in the final 2 minutes of his game.
Eli Manning, that was really brutal to watch. I was like, I've got the middle, and I was like, Kevin, you got the right, but someone's got to get the left. I was like, who's got the left? Who's got the left? And apparently Eli had the left, and it was brutal.
I think that was Saving Private Ryan.
That
was also
I think
Tom
that was-
Hanks.
That was
Then we had Le'Veon Bell bringing it home in the final play of the game for a touchdown to win the entire game. How about that?
we weren't supposed to talk about this.
I'm just saying, it's pretty unbelievable what happened this past weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Will obviously has some voodoo going on anyway.
There was some black magic happening.
Yeah.
It was really rough to watch that last game, especially coming down to the very last play of the game. It's like, Tomlin, what are you doing? If he doesn't get in, game's over. You guys lose. Just kick the field goal. And I don't know if Tomlin was really paying attention. It was almost like he was playing with toys. I don't know. I feel like,
great.
but
There we go.
I think he was playing with toys. Will was like playing with toys. He's for God's sake, he's not the real Buzz Lightyear. He's an action figure. Will, you are a child's plaything.
And he's a sad, strange little man, and he has our pity.
He does have our pity.
So, anyway, that's about it for
Yeah,
Cheaterberry Corner.
I think that's just about it for the Cheaterberry Corner.
So,
Lane, did you want to join?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm glad you were able to come in here. So, again, at the end of the Cheaterberry Corner here, where our motto is, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And, Lane, would you like to announce our cheater?
The cheater of the week is